Hi, this is H Trayford, and this is the Week 13 update for Cozy Crops. It's the 5th of January. Let's get into it. So this week we had 16 commits from 2 contributors for a total of 307 commits from a total of 7 contributors. This is Week 13 of 18. We're closing in on the final few weeks, so it's getting pretty exciting. So contributions this week, Cassie did a lot of work on the character create screen. It had originally been divided in half in order to enable a potential second player. All of that got readjusted and spread out, so it's a lot more usable since it's looking like the second player option will be for a future iteration of the game. So single player game at this point, and the character create screen supports that in a better, more usable way now. Appreciate that. I did some more work on the shops, kind of some tweaks, some quality of life stuff. When you can't afford something, it's grayed out and you can't pick it. Harvestable items forgeable items can be harvested on a wider range of tiles. There was a weird quirk in the code where sometimes a sunflower would spawn on a path or in a different kind of grass, and you wouldn't be able to harvest them on those other tile types. And so it made some adjustments to try and enable that. If you watched last week's update video that Cassidy did, on the cell screen, some of the icons were kind of squished and misplaced. So got all of that corrected. Made progress on the blacksmith shop, so now you can buy and sell tools there, so we'll see that. Upgraded the shovel and watering cans to affect multiple tiles, so that you can, so the upgrading the tools actually does something for you. I was testing this morning, it looks like I've introduced a bug, so you can't actually select the upgraded shovel. So I can't display that that's working because apparently it's not. But made progress on that. I need to fix that bug now that I've found it. You can give NPCs gifts now, and so now that allows us to harvest the sunflowers and then give them to Grandma. And then when you've given Grandma 5, right, that completes her quest. When her quest is complete, you can go into the museum and see that quest is complete. It'll display the statue that indicates that one is complete. Similarly, for Tiffany's quest, it is possible in the game now to plant the appropriate crops, allow them to mature, harvest them, and then give the appropriate things to Tiffany for her soup, and that completes her quest. And then when you go to the museum, you can see that quest is complete. So there are 2 other quests in the game. There's the quest to give the carpenter a certain amount of wood, and that will require us to be able to chop down trees, which means that the axe needs to work. So we've got a couple of prerequisites before we can get the carpenter's quest ready to go. Additionally, there is the fisherman's quest. You have to give the fisherman a tuna, so we need the fishing portion of the game working before we can get that quest done. But I think if we get to the point where we can complete those 2 quests, that'll be a huge step forward in completing all of the things we wanted to have in the game. So those are kind of high priority at this point, to work on the subset of things that need to be done so we can get those quests complete. And then if you saw last week's video, you saw that the buy or sell button and the cancel button on when you're trying to confirm that you want to buy or sell a particular item, that they were kind of offset off to the left side of the screen. So I got that corrected so that they're positioned properly now. So that's the contributions for this week. Here's what I was talking about with the character create screen. If you recall before, it was set up so that it only took up half the screen for the player 1, and then there was the player 2. So this is much better. I like this a lot, and I appreciate all of the work that went into that, because having set up the first one, I know how much work went into this, so I appreciate that. So we'll go over to a demo. So here we are, demo. Create a new game. Here's that screen. And here we are in the game. Now, I have temporarily set myself up to have a little more money than I think we will actually have in a real game, but that will help me to show a few things that I want to show off. So we'll go over here to the general store, and we'll come talk to the shopkeep and buy. And I would like to buy some tree seeds. So I think in a few different iterations of weekly updates, we've shown this screen, and these seed packets for the trees have variously been too small or smashed or mispositioned. So finally got them all working correctly. So we can, for example, buy an orange seeds. So we could potentially plant an orange tree. So arrow keys to select it, and then L to say that's what we want. And then we can click on the plus button to keep buying more and more and more of them. Eventually, when the next one would cost more than we have money, the plus button is grayed out, so you can't activate it. So I only want one, just as an example. So I'll go down and click. So this is the confirmation, and so this buy button and this cancel button were all offset way over here to the left last week. So got that fixed. It's looking much better. So I can buy that, and so you can see my money went down. And then I also have a seed. So it looks like that's what they have looked like in the past. So I'm going to have to adjust that still so that the orange seed packet is the correct size. So it looks more like this. And you can see that we are reusing some of these seed packets. So we're using the lime here, using the apple down here, the orange, the lime again, and then the cherry down here instead of the correct type. And so that's just, we need those additional pieces of artwork. So I'll use the escape button to get out of that, and then we'll go down and we'll go look into the blacksmith shop. And we'll talk to the blacksmith. So we can sell. I've only got 3 tools, but I could sell them if I wanted to. Might be hard to progress in the game if I sold the tools at this point. So escape to get out of that, and then I could buy. You could buy any of the tools. Probably it would make sense to make it so I can't buy another hoe since I've already got a standard hoe. I don't know. That's something to think about. Move into the upgraded tools so we can see these, and then if I go to the next one, you can see all of these ones are grayed out because I've only got 122 money, and all of these cost 200, so I can't afford any of these. But I could buy, the upgraded shovel. So L to pick that. I can only afford one, so I'll go ahead and buy it. So you can see I've got it now, and escape to get out of that, and then I'll go back out into the world and see I should be able to click on this and select the shovel. And then when I do, again, once I get that fixed again, what that will enable us to do is you can come over here into your region of the world and you can select it, and then when you click L, it would convert this grass into dirt for, it'll be a strip of 3 straight ones. And if I had been able to afford the premium shovel, then it would be a square 3x3 square of tiles that will go around. And again, when I updated that, it was working, so I've since introduced a bug that makes it so I can't select this tool. But that's the update for this week with the demo. Let's go over to the slides again, and then we'll look at the Vikunja. So here we are in the Vikunja, and I'm doing the video right now. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then the release week. Oops. So we're getting close to the end now. Some of these weeks have a lot of stuff in them, and then some of these weeks actually don't have that much. And some of these things that are in these shorter weeks are not too far from being complete themselves. So we're getting close to having what we need. Like I said, if we can get it so those 2 quests can be completed, we need to be able to chop down trees and we need to be able to catch fish, and then we'll be in really, really good shape. So feeling really good about where we're at with the game. And we'll switch back over to the slides before I start talking about how much I would really appreciate everybody's help. So if you haven't joined us, please do. If you have joined us, we would love to get additional contributions. Again, fishing and foraging and artwork and music and sound effects, where there's room for any of that, and would love to have your contributions. So please join us over on Cozy Crops. Thanks.